occurs in Japanese without speaking Japanese? Number 1, chin. In Japanese, it means. Number 2, Dutch wife. In Japanese. Number 3, Gary. Yes, these innocent English words can have some very inappropriate meaning. So let me explain them to you, starting with Gary. Please, if your name is Gary, be careful how you tell your name when you do self-introduction to students in Japan. This is the true story. So there was an English teacher called Gary, and on his very first day, Gary introduced himself. Hi kids, my name is Gary. And the kids was like, Gary Of course, Gary didn't know. Looked like they're laughing at me. And then he looked at the Japanese assistant. She was embarrassed. And then she told the kids, quiet, kids, quiet, quiet. So she didn't explain why the kids are laughing. But you know, every time kids want to call the teacher, they say, Gary sensei. Some kids were crying, Gary sensei, Gary. Even though they didn't need Gary sensei, they just want to say Gary sensei. So finally, Gary had enough. So he asked the Japanese assistant, why kids are laughing at me? And then she was reluctantly admitting to him that, sorry, but Gary sounds like Geri in Japanese, and it means diarrhea. So in the end, Gary changed his name to Tommy, and then he made all the students called him Tommy Sensei. Guys, this is a true story written by Gary himself. I'm sorry, Gary, but it's true. I'm here to help you. So, when you introduce yourself in Japanese, you have to be careful because the kids will never stop laughing at you. So, instead of pronouncing your name as Gary, it might be better to say it like Gary. Next word is Dutch wife. I always thought about this Dutch wife in Japanese was very mysterious because I didn't know why people call this Dutch wife. So I know from your guys' point of view, it just sounds like a wife who is Dutch, right? But when you come to Japan, you should never say these words, even if you do have a wife who is Dutch. So in Japanese, Dutch wife is the doll. Some lonely man buys this doll to yeah. So why does it call Dutch wife? I read that hundreds of years ago, Dutch merchants went to Indonesia for trading. But Indonesia was very hot and humid at night, so they decided to start holding this body pillow made by bamboo to stay cool. Some people saw them, holding the body pillow and sleeping, and they said, look at them, they're holding a wife. So I guess as this kind of doll was invented, they started calling this Dutch wife. When you come to Japan, and if your wife actually is Dutch, then just introduce her as your wife from Netherlands. By the way, we've got more of these funny words on the full uncensored version of this video. You can watch it by becoming a member or joining our Patreon. Next word is chin. This word, you definitely want to be careful about using it, especially around kids. So in English, chin means this part of your body, right? And in Japan, we also have a word chin, but it means a lot of different things. For example, it's the onomatopoeia for a bell ringing. Ching! And in Kansai dialect, which is spoken in Osaka, chin can also refer to heating something up in the microwave. Chin suru. But when you say chin 2 times, it's slang for
my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling.
This act is over.
Actually, I had a lot of foreign English teachers had a tough time to read the story of the 3 little pigs to their students. That's because when they get to the part where pigs say, not my hairs on my chinny chin chin, the kids just can't stop laughing and the teacher loses control of the class. So yeah, just be careful when you use this word in Japan because it can really make the situation very weird. Next word is Ben. For any Bens who's watching our video, please think twice. introduce yourself as Ben. If you ever teach kids, oh man, they're gonna be laughing all the time at your name and you would never be able to do the class. That's because in Japanese, we have the word Ben, means poo-poo. If there were two Bens at a school and one is Big Ben, the other one is Short Ben. Big Ben we say Dai, but Dai Ben means big poo-poo or taking a big dump, and we call small Ben, small in Japanese we say Sho Ben. Sho Ben means pee-pee. Isn't it a very funny school that you guys have Dai Ben and Sho Ben in the same? I don't think I should talk about this. I'm sure elementary school for sure, junior high school probably yes, high school I think so. If there's a Big Ben, we'll call them Dai Ben, Dai Ben. Oh, Dai Ben. Hi, good morning, Dai Ben. They just want to call you Big Dump, right? And then I'm sure they'll call the small Ben, hey, Sho Ben. It's like beep, it's I just sometimes can't stop imagining if there were two Big Ben and a small Ben. But I know a guy named Benny and nobody laughed at him. So I think you can call yourself Benjamin or Benny. Next word is napkin. A napkin is, of course, the thing you wipe your mouth with when you're having a meal, right? When we are talking about these kind of napkins in Japan, we call it a paper napkin. That's because napkin is also used for another kind of thing that's supposed to keep you clean, a sanitary pad. When I was working at a hotel as a server, I was at the lounge. And one gentleman came to me and asked me, excuse me, can I have some napkins? And at the time I was very young and I didn't know napkin means like a things that you wipe your mouth. I thought that was like a sanitary thing. I was like confused and I couldn't say anything. Like, napkin to wipe my mouth. And I was like, oh, he used sanitary pad to wipe his mouth? And there was my senpai server jumped in and brought him the paper napkin. I was like, oh, it's called napkin in English? That's weird. That was my first encounter of napkin as for wiping your mouth. If you really want to be careful, you can call it the nahukin, which is a safe way to ask for this kind of napkin. Next word is bokeh, and some people call it bokeh. Bokeh is a word used in photograph to describe the blurry background when you take a picture. And actually, this word is originally a Japanese word, and it is the same meaning in Japanese as English too. But unlike in English, we can use bokeh to insult people. If you call somebody bokeh, that means you are calling them a dumb or crazy or useless person. So be careful not to use this word, especially to people. It's very insulting and it could get you in trouble. Next one is, when I went to a mall in America, I really had to use bathroom. But, American mall is giant, so I couldn't find a sign of toilet. And they found a very muscular, big security guard walking around. I was like, he looks very scary, but I don't know if he could understand my English, but I gotta try. And then I ran to him and then I said, excuse me. Yes, ma'am. And I said, I was already scared. I asked him, where's the bathroom? And he said, huh? I was like, I said, I'm sorry. And then I just ran away. That's because in Japanese has a more aggressive meaning. It's kind of similar to what the hell did you say in English? That's why when the security guard told me, I was like, oh my god. So when you come to Japan, please be careful about saying, when you're confused about something. Next word is Deborah. Okay, this is the last name on this list, I swear. I'm so sorry if Deborah's, watching my video and if it makes you feel better. Deborah doesn't sound bad at all. Actually, a beautiful name. But I heard that some women shorten their name to Deb. Please don't do it in Japan. Deb sounds very similar to the Japanese word debu, which means fatty. So if you say, "Hi, my name is Deb," it just sounds like you called yourself fatto. The famous actor Hugh Jackman, his wife is Deborah. On Instagram, he made a post saying, "I love you, Deb." It sounds perfectly fine for you guys, right? But when the Japanese news found that article, they wrote, "I love you, fatto." Is Hugh Jackman dating with a fatto? What does it mean? It's just so weird for us. I personally think you should keep it like Deborah or even Debbie. Next word is "oh my." I was really surprised at this one because it sounds so similar to a really rude Japanese word. So you guys use "oh my" to express surprise at something, right? And I read that it originally comes from the phrase "oh my god," but was later made short so it wouldn't be offensive to religious people. But in Japanese, "oh my" sounds a lot like the Japanese word "omae." This is a very rude way to say, "hey you," and it could get you in trouble if you say it to the wrong person. That's because they are too casual, and if you don't know the person well, it's not very polite. You might face some temporary embarrassment by using these words. But these people have embarrassing Japanese tattooed on their bodies. Like this guy who got one of the worst Japanese words tattooed on his leg. I'll show you some of the worst Japanese tattoo decisions that foreigners made here. See you there! Thanks for watching! Okini!